Moon Mondays, unleash your feminine power through astrology. I'm Sheridan, your go-to astrology life coach, and I'm sharing this week's woman-centered astrology because I'm all about empowering you to use astrology to realize your full potential. We begin this week of November 18th with big changes, right? There's a lot going on. I'm sure you've been hearing all about it. So Pluto is entering Aquarius for good. The sun is entering Sagittarius. And let's just dive into all of this. But first, let's talk about the moon just entered into Cancer early this morning. That's the nurturer sign of the healthy mother. And so how does that feel for you? Are you good at filling yourself up before going out and giving to others? Society praises women who are overgivers, especially to their own detriment, right? We're so like, oh my gosh, she's so amazing. Look at what she did, right? That kind of a thing. So healthy Cancer is naturally a giver sign, but she knows she must nurture and love herself first, or she's learning she must nurture and love herself first before she's any good to anyone else, right? Okay, so now let's dive into this big Pluto entering Aquarius on Tuesday, tomorrow, right? The big event. So we're in the vibes now. So remember, like, this is a huge celestial body, and it's not about like the exact minute and second that it changes signs, right? There's a shifting of the energies as we move into the changing of the signs. So we're in that energy now. And we have been for a while as Pluto's been going back and forth between Aquarius and Capricorn. But now on Tuesday, Pluto moves into Aquarius and is going to stay there for a long time. So we're going to feel this one for a while, right? It's not just today, tomorrow, the next day, and then we're like off and it's all good, right? Also, Mars is a big part of this Pluto ingress, right? This Pluto changing signs right now. Mars is opposite Pluto until the end of April because of its retrograde cycle. So it crossed over opposite Pluto. It's going to go retrograde and come back across the opposition to Pluto. And then one more time when it stations direct, go back across it. And then that transit, that cycle, that energetic soup will move on, right? So Mars is a big part of what's happening right now with this huge event with Pluto, right? So what's up with Pluto entering Aquarius, and along with what does Mars being in the mix mean, right? So Pluto is our planet of transformation. It's about composting. It's that shamanic death and rebirth, right? Like the composting of the leaves that have fallen in fall that nurture and nourish the soil so that the new bulbs and new plants can come up in the spring, right? That shamanic death of the leaves that brings the birth, the rebirth of the flowers and the plants, right? Or our own personal death and rebirth, right? Where we die to something that is no longer serving us, that doesn't work for us, right? We shed a skin so that we can be reborn closer to who we truly are, to our soul selves, right? Pluto, that is about transformation, of that growth and evolution, hopefully, right? Fingers crossed, that leads us to greater empowerment. That's really Pluto's ultimate gift. And Aquarius is the sign of equality with a focus on humanity and consciousness. So what are we wanting to transform in our consciousness around our humanity, community, around ideals of equality, in our awareness of each other and the other, right? So this would be a good time to lean into we are all equal and try to understand each other. That's really like the higher side of Aquarius, othering and separation away from, that's the shadow of Aquarius, right? So people are seriously geeking out on this shift, fixing all that ails us. But remember, Aquarius has a shadow side too, just like Capricorn did, right? So Aquarius can be super detached, really like checked out. It can suffer from a major superiority complex, like elitism, and it can really spiritually bypass doing the work necessary to bring us into the higher aspects of Aquarius, right? That equality and a conscious collective humanity. So all transits offer us choices. Do we go towards the evolutionary side of it or towards the de-evolution, the devolution, right? So evolve or devolve. It's always a choice. And there's a lot of mix in between. So Pluto moving into Aquarius offers exactly that too, that choice. Are we ready yet to understand each other? Or do we double down on so-and-so, you fill in the blank sucks, right? That separation. So far, we seem for quite a while now to be really paralyzed by a lot of fear and anger, polarized beyond recognition, right? So I'm hoping that we're ready to make better collective choices, but I'm definitely not holding my breath, right? So we just seem so incapable of like learning and evolving and growing. It's like the pendulum's just really swinging back. And it's got to come to that stillness, kind of like the solstice on the horizon, before we can start to move into this better direction. But fingers crossed, and we have a long time with Pluto in Aquarius. And hopefully we will get there in some ways that we weren't able to while Pluto was in Capricorn. So let's add Mars into this mix now. So Mars is in Leo, and it's learning to love itself, right? Or it can be, right? With Leo, can learn to love itself, or it can double down on hating itself through hating others and making them the enemy, right? Here's the two sides of Leo, or some two sides of Leo. So the Leo queen can lead through love or create chaos through fear, rage, and hate. So which action motivates you more, right? What do you feel more drawn to? And that's not easy necessarily, because we can feel like we have really good reasons for othering and separating. But when we do that, we're triggered and we're not coming into our wholeness. Separating out does not lead to us loving ourselves more. And that's the teaching of Leo. And having Mars in Leo opposite Pluto is asking for us to heal and transform around the masculine and all of that shadow side of that othering, separating, detaching, that Aquarius Leo axis, right? So we have a lot of time through April to keep leaning into noticing and paying attention to which choices do we want to keep making, right? So on Wednesday, the moon enters Leo and highlights everything I've been saying already, right? The moon brings our awareness to the spot, to the part of the sky that it's in. So how do you feel about focusing on yourself and taking better care of yourself? What does that look like for you? Are you comfortable or uncomfortable with focusing on you, right? A lot of times for us as women, we are really uncomfortable with focusing on ourselves. It's challenging. We fear it's selfish, right? But selfish that's good. We need to, right? We learn from Cancer to fill ourselves up first. Now with Leo, we learn how to put that into action, right? So how does that land for you when we talk about loving yourself more, right? Just notice what that brings up for you. And what's a teeny tiny baby step you could take this week to take better care of yourself and show yourself you love you, right? And I mean a teeny tiny baby step. It could be a minute of like Okay, I'm so freaking uncomfortable with this, but I'm just gonna feel my heart for 1 minute, right? That's what I mean by teeny tiny step. On Thursday, we begin Sagittarius season as the sun moves into the Sagittarius slice of the pie, the astrological pie in the sky, right? The Sagittarius part of the sky. Where's that for you? And so this is just an invitation around the astronomy, right? I'm currently seeing the sunset on the side of this particular mountain in my Western view. I can tell where Sagittarius lives in my sky just through the location of the sunset. What does that look like for you? Where does Sagittarius rise or set along your horizon line? It's just a powerful practice, right? I invite you into to connect to the earth and the cosmos in this way, right? I'll also invite you to track the sun over the next month up to the solstice, discover where the solstice point is on your horizon line, right? To be able to start tracking where the sun is moving through the seasonal cycles of the year. On Friday, the moon enters Virgo and then squares the sun for the third quarter moon, the waning half moon you see high in the sky at sunrise. This is our last check-in point before the Sagittarius new moon next week, right? So the sun is moving into Sagittarius, then the moon will move into Sagittarius for that Sagittarius new moon next week. So Sagittarius is a sign of exploration internally, like through meditation or reading or learning, or externally through travel and adventure, right? Seeking knowledge and greater understanding. That's what Sagittarius is about. So let's talk about the last new moon intention, right? So as we have this third quarter moon check-in, how have you done with your Scorpio new moon intention? Have you been able to accomplish it? If yes, how does that feel for you? If not, what prevented that? What's gotten in your way? Remember, this isn't about judging ourselves. It's about Sagittarius, exploration, and curiosity, right? We're trying to be more of ourselves, right? We're trying to uncover more of who we really are by working with the phases of the moon. What does completing your intention or not help you to understand better about yourself? And the answer is not that you suck. I know that for sure. So, what got in your way? What helped you, right? It's just about increasing your awareness around it so that we can improve and learn and make different choices as we go forward, right? Not accomplishing our intention can really uncover like it wasn't right for me, or I have these blockages to helping me take action around that. Either way, I need to deal with all of that so that I can create the life that I really dream about and I want to live for myself. So today's third quarter moon is our check-in point. Is there something you could do this week to support your previous intention, a baby step or micro action you could take? How do your actions over the past month inform your new intention for next week at the Sagittarius new moon? What do you need to do differently or do the same? It's all up to you and discovering what actually works for you. You, unique you, right? This waning half moon is in Virgo, and Virgo is a sign that looks for the patterns and sees the details. This energy is here to help you in your curious search for what works and doesn't work for you. Virgo can be nitpicky too in her shadow aspect, so watch out for that. It's just about understanding one thing that helped and one thing that didn't help you over the past month. Next week, you get to make a new choice and set another micro action you can take for 1 week, right? And we'll talk about that more next Monday. I've also been asked a bunch to bring back my astro aromatherapy suggestions. So I'm going to end with that today. And let me know if you want me to keep sharing this astro aromatherapy or not. So I love white pine for Pluto's move into Aquarius. White pine helps us stay grounded While we lean into the transformation and consciousness, this change is asking from us. White pine helps us to stay connected to our bodies while we explore the cosmos with our Aquarian minds. Okay, so I'll see you next Monday when Mercury goes retrograde. Hint, hint, it's not a bad thing. And I'll share more about setting your Sagittarius new moon intention, creating the life you want to live that you're excited to live as well. So if you want to learn more about creating your ideal life with the moon, grab my free guide, 3 Steps to Changing Your Life with the New Moon at my website, SheridanSemple.com, or click the link below. And also comment, ask me questions, and like below if you feel so inspired. Thanks for watching, and I wish you an empowered feminine week.